How about this? How about Kinsey, you start, oh, you already started recording.
Yep,
Fantastic.
I just started.
And then how about I'll go over your stuff first, Kinsey, just so that, you know, we can kind of talk and give you a few seconds, Raphael, if that works for you.
Awesome.
Okay, so first of all, Kinsey, I know we were talking before and you were giving me props about yours. Yours was pretty fantastic as well. So please know that. I really did enjoy reading it. And I was 100% serious at the bottom when I said it's kind of refreshing to hear high school versus elementary sometimes, because I forget about that a lot. I loved how much data that you used. That was pretty impressive, how much information you had there. I know the one comment that I had suggested was maybe just using some research, just like some outside research to just make it a little bit stronger. But besides that, to be honest, except for maybe, you know, going into a little bit more specific information about the needs and what you might do next with your PLC, I think it was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, and that's where, you know, I was kind of I was trying to end task 2 on a nice note without going into task 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
The action plan. So I was a little bit confused. I was like, okay, so how do I end this? Because I don't want to start talking about what we're going to do yet, because that's fast.
Well, I would say the nice thing is, because all the tasks are going to be eventually connected, I think that even if you were to put, you know, I think that now that we're not turning it all in at once, or we are turning it all in at once later, I think it'll be okay. And then you can kind of just have it segue into task 3, you know, and I think it'll be fine. Yeah, so, you know, just making sure that smooth segue in between. But I did actually really like the fact, I think both of you did this, where you had the headings for the different things. And I think that's something I actually kind of want to go back and do for mine too. I didn't even think about that, considering we did that for our first task, and it kind of made sense to have the same kind of structure. So I'm actually going to fix that on mine.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, that was helpful. So yeah, I'll look at try to find some research to add in that beginning part.
Sounds good.
So, should I go and share some information with you?
Yeah.
So we're talking about Kansas, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, both of you really are good in doing all papers. I mean, when I have the opportunity to read your papers, I can definitely say that they're really good. So I am not going to be saying a lot of stuff, because well, actually, this time I did a little bit better in my reviews. I took a little bit more time to put some more information for you, but I was just got a couple of comments, and it was in the rubric requirements, and I like you you were able to show. Actually, it was funny because you were the only one from the 3 of us that did the video. So I said, well, once I heard that you can or cannot, I mean, it's up to you. I said, you know what, I'm not going to do that.
Me neither. I said the same thing.
So when I saw your video, Kinsey, I said, wow, was that?
Did you watch it?
Yes, of course.
It was good.
I said, but you know what? And I said, I thought, the only thing I will tell you is just to having somebody else taking notes, because you're leading the meeting. It doesn't mean that you can't do it, but what I thought is, if you have your team, like you have some specific tasks or responsibilities in your PLC, you will be able to actually perhaps lead them a little bit more. Other than that, I don't think anything that I can tell you about that. Actually, one more thing about that meeting and your you leading it. Sometimes it is so hard getting teachers to be willing to do this kind of stuff. When
we were just talking about that.
Right. When you are not a supervisor, when you are not, when you don't have
to do it.
That, come again?
When they don't actually have to do it.
Exactly. And it was awesome keeping them kind of engaged and talking about the topic. Perhaps something that I do in mind when I meet with my Career Academy teachers is just keep them engaging in one conversation. I already give them exactly what we're going to be talking, a few questions that how you can, if I see that something is not coming well and I see a lot, kind of the engagement is not as good as it should supposed to be, I will bring something at the moment so you can keep them engaging in the process. But this is just because I saw the video.
Right.
If I don't see that video, I won't tell. I won't be able to say much. But I commend you doing that video. I don't know.
Good job, Kinsey.
it was really, really, really good.
Well, to be honest, at one point in the thing it said it was required, and then down at the rubric it said it was optional. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And if anything, I'll upload it for the communication disposition.
There you go.
Yeah, that's excellent. Excellent. And you nailed it. No, neither one of us did it, but you. So good for you. Good for you. I remember reading something else in your paper, and it was about there was something I found in one of the typography that you have, the size of your type, and it was about the South Point High School.
Yes, I see.
It was bigger than the rest of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And what can I tell you? Good. You'll be great.
Well, thank you. Okay, anything else for me?
Good job.
Okay.
I believe that too.
Who wants to go next?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You can. I need to find some of my misspelling. Someone, I don't remember which one of you, give me a good idea that I do have some misspellings here, and I would love to find them because I have not been able.
Okay, I have yours pulled up.
Feel free to share.
Okay. So I have mine up. If that's cool with you, Kinsey, I can go ahead and go for him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, Rafael, I think you did a really, really good job explaining your area of data collection to your audience. I put that on the rubric. I thought it really was very clear what you were collecting and why that was important, that information. Something I did suggest, though, is to maybe just put a little bit more information and research behind like your specific school academics. So, I know that in your task one, you kind of talked about your school and, the different types of classes and whatnot, but kind of relating that back to your data and why it's important might make it even stronger, if that makes sense. Like, how does the information affect your students' lives post-graduation? Why is it important that they're studying this area, and how does it kind of affect their life? I think that would make it even stronger for you.
Yeah.
I also thought that maybe putting a little bit more reflection in there just on, you were able to analyze the data, but kind of talking a little bit more about what you thought about it, why, kind of going back to the first part, why it's important, why you want to be studying these kinds of things. I think adding that reflection will make it a little bit more personalized to you. And just, like I said, make it a little bit stronger. But besides that, I definitely thought, I didn't necessarily catch some of the grammar mistakes. I'm not going to lie. I'm not huge about that. I want to see more of like the quality and I think that you did a really good job. I would just make sure that you would include some research that, like I told Kinsey to, and then make sure that you're citing your appendix somewhere within your actual paper. I could have missed that, and I very well could have, but just making sure that you refer to it somewhere in your actual paper, and then, so that you can know the importance of why that appendix is there. Does that make sense?
Thank you. It does. It does.
Okay.
Because I guess it's I've been struggling a little bit with this paper because the data I decided to use, unfortunately for me, there are not that many research-based data that support career technical education and this particular topic. So now I'm getting a little bit even more stressed because of the task 3, because it's a lot of data, research-based data that we will need to be using in order to do that paper, and I've been struggling with that one too. So I do understand that component.
And maybe you can generalize a little bit more. I was talking to Kinsey about our week 6 assignment, with the whole ESL students and algebra and teaching that and whatnot. And I'm generalizing a little bit more with just using it for math based. So maybe if you can kind of broaden your area of research, that might even be able to help you a little bit too, and see how it relates. Oh, hey, my dog wants
to. Look at that.
Sorry.
We got to force a new student coming in.
Yeah, he wants to be a part of it too. But if you maybe broaden your search a little bit, that might be able to help you a little bit too.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so I'm going through yours, and I thought you did, a great job just explaining all of the visuals that you included, because I just felt like when I was going through and reading your paper, like I understood exactly what you were talking about.
That's good.
So that was really good. And then the only thing really that I suggested was just going into more detail about the actual meeting that you led. Because I know that was part of the rubric was, I don't have it in front of me, but something about leading a collaborative PLC meeting where you...
Yeah, I can pull it right now. Let me see.
Yeah, I think I have it. Oh, here it is. I have it too.
I do have it here, yes. Well, when you're talking about looking to accomplish or looking to, well, we have like the rubric starts in emerging, developing, proficient, and then accomplished. And then that last one is the one that I pretty much use when I'm writing the paper, getting the data, so I want to make sure I can touch each one of them. The first one talks about candidate describe data collection strategies and criteria in the process. That's one point. Pretty much when I was actually looking at your papers as well, I was looking at that information too. To say, and data is graphically represented in the narrative in form of charts, table, graphs, etc. That's also knocked down with the paper. Then it says, and the candidate will provide video evidence that, which is you, Kinsey did it, the video, and effectively lead a collaborative PLC. I believe that's what this part is what you
right
about, right?
Yes.
So more than what I did, what I shared with them.
Right. So I would just talk, and you kind of talked about it. You just didn't specifically say. I just don't remember you like going into detail about the actual meeting. Like you just kind of talked about, here's everything, here's our need. And I think you could easily change that by just saying, as a PLC, we collaboratively discuss the data that's
Yeah,
presented.
it makes sense. It makes sense. I guess I'm not that kind of talking guy. No matter if I'm gonna be talking, or if I'm gonna, I guess perhaps it's because I'm a man, and you ladies are so awesome that can describe so many details. I don't know. My wife is pretty much like you, Bo. Gonna be able to explain every single detail. I'm gonna go straight to the point. Like, this is what we have to do. Let's get it done. Boom. But I get it. I have to keep going and doing better. But I'm agree with both of you.
Okay, I did find the mistake though.
What is it? What is it?
Okay.
What paragraph?
So it's where you have the academy concentrators. I think it's like the.
Can you see that? Can you tell me the paragraph? Which one is? Because pretty much in all of them talks about the CTE concentrators.
Okay, it says in conclusion. It's page 5.
Oh, okay. Got you.
So it says, in conclusion, this
Yes.
academic needs assessment found that there's a need to develop an action plan, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
This needs assessment found that the Career Academy underperforming in. So I think that's supposed to be is underperforming.
Wait. In conclusion, this academy needs assessment found that there is. Come again? What? Can you?
Go to the next sentence.
This needs assessment found that the Career Academy is underperforming in the production of CT concentrators.
Okay, but you have in underperforming in the production.
Oh, found that the Career Academy. Oh, gotcha.
I do that all the time. Like when I read my own papers, like it'll say something else, but I know what it's supposed to say.
Yep.
Got it. Thank you. That's awesome. Got it corrected. Fixed. Let me say that twice.
I knew there was something in there. I was like, I knew I found something. But that's all I have for you. Overall, like, good job with, because a lot of times this data is foreign to outsiders. So good job. I mean, your paper was very easy to follow with all of your visuals.
Appreciate that. You're very kind, both of you.
Thank you.
Okay, Karen.
Yeah.
I'm pulling yours up, so give me 1 second. Do you have hers pulled up?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you want to start?
I follow you.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
All right, give me 1 second.
No problem, guys.
Well, I'll go. Because mine is, I don't have, if you read what I wrote for you, you will see that I was pretty much straightforward. I just found in yours just one thing that I believe you need to be worked out at some point.
Was it having to do with the graphs?
Yes, because I don't know. I wasn't sure because I saw.
I'm not sure either.
I saw Kareem, and it was kind of really. Well, I don't know. It was the titles or something.
I think it was where I put a note at the end of it so that I could show where the students are supposed to be. Yeah, I wasn't sure how to actually put that in APA, but I'll make sure I look on, like Al Purdue or something like that to make sure with that. Thank you for bringing that up because I wasn't really sure.
Yeah, I'm not either. I mean, this is something that I noticed.
Yep.
Different from your first paper and from all those papers that I have been reading.
Yeah.
I noticed that kind of different way people do that, and I just want to make sure because I know you are an APA, APA.
I try.
That's all I have for you, really. It was a great paper too.
Thank you.
Both of your paper were good. Your paper, the first time, both of your paper taught me a lot. So I promised last time to do it better in your review. So I think I did a little bit better.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
I thought your paper was great. Like I gave you 4s for every category.
Thank you.
Let's see. The only suggestion, if I had to make one, is just I wasn't really quite sure why you chose reading, and like that wasn't really explained. So just kind of like why reading as opposed to the other subjects. And like
I get how it is. You just really like your math, so I'm just kidding.
Well, I just felt like it jumped straight into all this reading data, and I was like, whoa, why?
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. I think about, I guess, my process behind that, just so you guys know, is in elementary school, reading is such a huge, deficit for so many of our kiddos, and especially my EC kiddos. I was like, oh, of course I'm going to do, reading.
Yeah. See, and like just
idea.
adding that statement in, I would be like, oh, okay.
That makes sense. Okay, I'll definitely do that. That's a good idea.
That was my only suggestion. I mean, everything was even that research that you included I was like, man. I did research for this one, but so yours was really good. That was the only thing. And then I was kind of confused. Like before those 2 graphs, you had like a key.
Yes. So basically, and maybe I need to explain this more in the paper. Basically, when we're doing reading levels, they're actually by letters. But when I was trying to graph everything, my husband and he is like an Excel guru, and he couldn't figure out how the heck to graph it without changing it to numbers. That's why, and I'll make sure, I'll explain that in there too, just so that they can see. But so that I wanted to make it numerical so that you can kind of see, the differences between the actual data. But yeah, that was a little bit confusing.
Yeah, it probably makes sense to you, but I was just like, wait, what was that for?
Yeah. But you can definitely see why I definitely need to focus on reading, because, woo, my kiddos. Love them to pieces, but oh my goodness, they're so low. Oh.
Yeah. So any other questions? I feel like task 2 was, I guess, more personalized, so it was easier to, I don't know, it was easy for me. Task 2 was easier than task 1 for me. And I think it was because it was so personalized to our PLC.
I think so too. Probably there were not the needs to do that many research. Even though you were doing research, because you need to do something and you need to collect some data. Mm-hmm. They were not that structured in terms of all the references we need, all the I technically just need to add one, which is the source of data that I got it.
Yeah, I would say if you just add that, like with both of you, if you just add one thing, I just think it'll make it that much stronger. Like, and, kind of going back to what Kinsey said about mine, like, why did I choose reading? Why is what you guys are focusing on important? So really, I should take my own advice there.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's definitely going to anytime you can add in research to justify your decisions, mm-hmm. That's not going to do anything but make your paper better.
Absolutely.
So have you started on, we were talking about task 3. Have you started on yours?
A little bit, but again, I'm struggling getting the kind of supporting data, the annotated biographies, and there's a lot going on. So I have to, for this task 3, I talked to Dr. Neil, mm-hmm. and I explained him in an email what my fears in terms of data, and he suggested that I need to be very descriptive. I need to put a lot of details on what I was able to get or not. So when you and the evaluator read it, they will have a kind of understanding why am I not going to be having all that much data in that task. 3. And I guess we're going to have a really Zoom session to talk about that task.
Yeah. It's interesting that he suggested that, because when my sister was writing her dissertation, she has her PhD and she's a professor now, and she was explaining how there were times where she had difficulty finding specific research too. And then she also struggled with actually writing it because not everything went the way that she wanted it to go. So I kind of see that relationship of, as long as you explain it and explain, the difficulties and whatnot to get the reader to understand, I think you'll be fine.
Yep, I'm hoping that too.
You'll be fine. You got this.
Thank you.
So, do we have a Zoom session as our weekly assignment next week? Do we have a case study?
You want to have a look at it.
Let me actually see. I think if Blackboard didn't kick me, oh no, it did. Hang on, I can look real quickly for us. I know, obviously we turn in, our task 2 link and everything by next week, and then we have the assignment 6 that we were talking about. Hang on, let me pull it up. I have to say, Blackboard kicking me out sometimes is really annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 2 things for week 7. It says submit task 2 feedback, and then week 7 assignment B.
So where we at? No, we're in week 6 now.
Yeah, but for next week.
Oh, next week. Okay, good.
Yeah. It does not look like we have a Zoom session. I think the next one we have might be task 3. Where's the Zoom schedule? I know that was on here too.
It is, let's see. I'm also looking at it right now. We have week 7, submit 2 feedback template for.
I think week 8 when we do task.
Yeah, we don't have any Zoom session for next week.
What did you say about task 3?
I think the next Zoom session is when we have to turn in task 3. Like next week we turn it in, and then the week after we have to make sure that we have all of our rubrics in and whatnot, the peer reviews, and then we have it the week, it says, I think the 19th.
Yep, that's right.
Gotcha.
So we get a week off from Zoom.
Thank you so much for calling me. I really appreciate. I do appreciate that a lot. My apologies.
That's okay.
I thought we were meeting tomorrow at 7:30. I don't know how that happened, but I do appreciate that you reach out, and I was able to meet with both of you today.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, and good luck on task 3. Let's email each other if we have any questions.
Awesome. That's going to be a good idea. I will.
And be safe with the weather, guys. Please be safe. I don't know if you're getting anything, but be safe with the hurricane coming. So
Yes.
I will. We will. Thank you.